Hey there, my name is 𝐂𝐫𝐢𝐭𝐢𝐜. I am the host of a show on YouTube called the Critical African Thinkers. Professionally, I'm a pharmacist, but I'm also an author. I have a crime fiction novel on Amazon. I also deals on some issues on race and colonialism, and I also write on Substack. So I wanted to talk to you about masculinity. Now, masculinity has gotten a sort of a bad rap in recent years, with words such as toxic being added as a prefix to the word masculinity, such that it's almost a bad thing to have masculinity. But I think masculinity is a good thing. I think it's a great thing. And many people might ask, what exactly is masculinity? What does it mean to be masculine? I think what it means to be masculine falls into two categories. One or three categories, I would say. One is the biological fact of being a male, or the biological fact of being a man, but that's not enough for you to be masculine. I also think that there are associated social responsibilities that comes with being masculine, as well as behavioral peculiarities. And some of these social traits that come with masculinity includes integrity, includes robust health, includes compassionate decisiveness, includes goodwill, and includes generous leadership. Now, these are some of the qualities that define what masculinity is. And if we're going to take them one after another, in terms of integrity, for masculinity, a man's word has to be his bond. A man has to be able to say something and stick with it and do it. His words have to count for something, such that when he says he's going to do something, he definitely is going to do it. So that's a very big masculine trait. That's a trait for masculinity. I'm not saying it's exclusive to males or to masculinity, but it's a defining characteristic of what it means to be masculine, for your words to mean something, for your words to count. Also, a man has to be in robust health. He has to keep himself in top mental and physical shape, such that he is able to function optimally. So that is another way in which masculinity is shown. And also, masculinity also covers compassionate decisiveness. A man has to be able to make decisions. He has to be able to make strong and quick decisions, but also has to be considerate of people around him. He has to be considerate of his family. He has to be considerate of other people. So when he's making that decisive decision, he has to be compassionate. There has to be a human element to it. And he has to have goodwill. Man has to be able to bring people together, to generate goodwill from his behavior, to generate goodwill from his interactions with people, and not to sow bad blood with people that he interacts with. And then finally, amongst these traits of what it means to be masculine, which is a very important trait, is generous leadership. A man has to be able to lead, and he has to be able to lead in a manner that is generous, in a manner that is I would say, he has to make sacrifices. He has to make sacrifices for those that he loves. He has to make sacrifices for those that matter to him. So he has to provide that leadership. He has to provide that sense of direction. He has to provide not only external leadership, but personal leadership that is reflected in the way that he does things, is reflected in the way he carries himself, is reflected in the way he inspires people to be able to do things, to be able to come out and key into his vision. So these are just some of the traits of masculinity. Now, these traits are by no means exhaustive. There are other traits of what it means to be masculine. But in this world currently, I think that there is sort of a dearth in masculinity, and there needs to be sort of a revival in masculinity. We need more men who will stand up to have integrity. We need more men who will not neglect their health and let themselves fall into disrepute or fall into sickness. We need men in the top physical and mental state that they can ever be in. We need men who are compassionate and will make decisive decisions, while considering the feelings of others. We need men who can build bridges, who have goodwill, and above all, we need men who can provide a generous leadership that people can, follow and not be forced to follow them. So these are my thoughts on masculinity, and I hope that they've made sense to you, and I hope that you enjoyed them. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles.